Welcome to Fountain Report Conversations. My name is Bruce Truman, and I'm excited to introduce to you the founder of PadsPass, Lauren Anders Brown. Welcome, Lauren.
Thanks, Bruce. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you here. Tell us a little bit about your business. What inspired you to create PadsPass, and what is PadsPass?
Sure. So PadsPass is a app that you can download in the App Store. And what that does is it allows pet parents to make the best decisions for their pets in travel. They can set up an account for their pet, dog or cat right now, and put in their health information. Their veterinarian verifies the health information is correct. That's an important step to be able to ensure that we give the right guidance through the app. And then you can start to plan trips and you get step-by-step custom requirements according to your pet health makeup, the destination, and the timing, all made specifically to your pet in accordance with any local jurisdiction, governance, any transportation requirements. It's all in one place. And I was inspired to make and start PadsPass out of a personal pain point. So I've traveled with a dog for over 12 years now, and my last dog I traveled with for 10 years. And that was when it really wasn't cool to travel with a dog. It was really weird to travel with a dog. I remember the days of going back to the USDA offices when they're at airports to try and get these permits done and whatnot, showing up without an appointment. That was fun. But making it work until it didn't one day. And one day on a routine trip that I'd taken many times with my dog who had a valid UK pet passport, we got the information wrong. Our veterinarian gave the wrong dewormer. It was given too close to our arrival time, and the authorities wrongly approved our paperwork and then rescinded it when we landed, and they took her from me. And that made me realize just how complex the whole process is. I'd kind of just been going along with it for so long, um, and how human error can be really costly, and the consequences are really high, and that we can use technology to do better. The having a paper-based system for so long just creates this breeding ground of human error, and it's no one's fault. I don't blame the veterinarian who very innocently gave the wrong dewormer. I don't blame the airport officials. If anything, it just proves that like we need to have a better system in place for pet travel because there are so many pet parents traveling. Last year alone in the US, 39 million cats flew and 15 million dogs flew three times or more. So I think we're just getting the data for this information in this industry, and it's surprising, and real change needs to come.
Well, I think you're highlighting a real pain point here. On my last trip to London, we were flying with colleagues that experienced a very similar situation. And fortunately, they could flex and leave the pet in New Jersey and delay the flight. And I know this is travel documentation makes veterinarians a little nervous. Could we talk about the veterinary team and why does pet travel to the team? I think we all know the answer, but love to hear it from you.
Absolutely. There's lots of other apps, checklists out there that exist for pet travel, but honestly, pet travel starts at the animal's health, and it starts at, where they were born, what their vaccination history was, if they've had any lapses, and then it's applicable to the place that they want to go to. It's a lot for veterinarians to take in, and they need to carve out a huge chunk of their day when all they want to do is really care for animals. They want to take care of animals. They want to help them in the best way possible. Travel to them can be a huge inconvenience, a huge liability, and a huge concern. No one wants to be in the situation that my veterinarian was in where they get it wrong, right? And so a lot of times it's easier for veterinarians to just turn away the work and say, no, I'm sorry, we don't do that paperwork, right? And our veterinarians at PadsPass that we've developed the software with, like they've seen this time and time again, and they've worked in one of the most difficult locations for pet travel, Bermuda, which is one of our starting locations, because of the strict vaccine requirements and the fact that there's a timed parasite treatment that has to be given. It can just automatically deter veterinarians from wanting to do it. But having a system where safeguards are in place, there's no room for human error, and it's been tried and tested. We've been using our prototype now for a year and a half flawlessly. And I have to say, I get really excited every time I see a veterinarian eyes light up and they're like, oh, I don't have to prep for this. I don't have to restudy anything. I just have to follow this software, go through. It makes sense. It's been also used in multiple languages now at this point, which is pretty cool. And and then I get to tell them that I made the software, which is kind of cool as well. So I love this intersection of animal health, technology, and travel because, in my opinion, one can't exist without the other. They are completely interconnected. And the only way you can get the actual proven results of successful travel is by following the steps, being compliant, but doing it in a technology-driven way that doesn't allow for the error that I made.
Okay, so you're launching now and you're getting the word out there. What's Checkpoint? Explain Checkpoint to us, and how does a veterinarian listening or a veterinary anybody in the practice, a practice manager, how do they make it happen?
So, PadsPass is like the umbrella. And then we have the digital pet passport that pet parents download, they pay for, they subscribe. That gives them all the guidance, all the homework that you don't have to do as a veterinarian anymore, right? And so, in order for them to start to plan their travel, they need to have their documents confirmed by the veterinarian who administered the vaccine or the treatment. So we know that we're giving them the correct, 100% accurate, up to date information, right? And that's where Checkpoint comes in. Checkpoint is an absolutely free portal for veterinarians to use. You can onboard your clinic, you can add your different team members, and then what happens is when a pet parent uploads the document, it goes to the portal in Checkpoint. You get a notification in your email inbox via a magic link, so you don't have to remember any passwords or anything. And we've actually done one step before that even happens. Before that reaches your inbox, we have a human in the loop, one of our veterinarians who confirms that at least the document wasn't accidentally like a receipt or something. There was a genuine vaccine certificate, right? And they help to route it to your clinic, onboard you if you have any questions. And then the vaccine certificate comes up or the treatment, whatever it might be, maybe a microchip scan confirmation. And then you just make sure it matches your records and your PIMS. You make sure that, like, this client, this dog, there's 3 points of information that we identify to be able to connect a document to your clinic, and that's the microchip number is the primary one, and then either the pet parent and the pet name have to also match as well. And so once it shows up there and you verify it, that information is then we use AI to codify it, and that's how we run it against the travel requirement.
Great. Making it easy, saving time, giving peace of mind. Thanks, Lauren.